What's up, Broke Ass Nation? Today, part 2 of what I like to call zero to hero build. We're turning my S13 into a drift car. And this video is going to have some fun stuff. If you can't tell, we're going to be welding. We're going to be doing some reinforcement to the subframe. So it ought to be fun. I'll show you guys a few other things that I did before we get into that. But yeah, I don't know what all is going to be in this, but I do know there's going to be some welding. So let's get to it. Alright, so like I said, before we get into some welding, let's go over some stuff that I did. So as you can see, I got the old header out. The old header was a 4-to-1, and I really hated it because it had really bad fitment issues right here. I had to beat the crap out of that thing to get it in there in the first place because it was like up against the steering. So, you know, we made some room by getting it out. We're going to be putting that nice ISR 4-to-2-to-1 header in there. You know. Now that will probably be one of the later things that I do. Because I want to try to get a lot of the stuff out that's going to have to come out. I want to keep it out so I can do like the rust proofing like over here and along the frame down here. So the less stuff that's in the way, the better. I know realistically I should just take the whole engine out, but I really don't want to right now. Let's see, what else did I do? I got the gas tank out. Hopefully we are going to figure out why the gas gauge doesn't work. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the wiring and stuff on this this top hat here, because it used to work until we changed the fuel pump. Then it didn't work anymore. So yeah, we got a little bit of rust proofing to do to this too. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I'd like to make sure it don't rust. So now, as you can see, I got the interior out. Yep. So, I'm not quite sure what this box right here is. And obviously it's some kind of computer, like module. But I'm not sure exactly what it's for or if I need to keep it. But if I need to keep it, I'll just relocate it somewhere. But as for now, it's, you know, just kind of there. Big issue I'm running into back here is if you see this, like these melt sheets, floor deadener, whatever you want to call it, it's hiding a lot of rust. Not bad rust, most of it, but you know, rust. So I gotta try to get all this up and then end up rust proofing it. Somebody told me to try dry ice and basically freeze it so it'll break a lot easier and it'll unstick. We'll see. All of this was just because it was rusted underneath pretty much. But yeah, while taking my interior out, I found some things. I found 2 pocket watches. I found, oh, there's one of them right now. Look at that sucker. I found this bag that looked like drugs, but it's actually just iced tea mix. Fucking weird. I also found a watch. I don't know where that is right offhand. But yeah, we found some goodies. I also found some random wiring that was just nothing. I'm very confused about that. I'm also a little confused on why this is some kind of like Panasonic thing for the sound system. Like, it's factory, It's got like a 75 amp fuse in it, and it's supposed to plug into this. Well, as you can see, somebody wired the speakers into that, and they just capped off some of the other wires. So, really not sure why they did that. I'm not sure what this thing does exactly, but yeah. As weird as it may be for a drift car, I am gonna keep like a sound system in here. I want to keep speakers and stuff, because this isn't just gonna be like total drift car. It's gonna be a street drift car, you know. So I want it to still have some driving appeal, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I guess let's get into welding. Alright guys, so I got her all welded up. I know that little time lapse was probably pathetic, but you know, it's whatever. I am not a welder by any means. Yeah, so hopefully this works. Honestly, what's a real bitch is just like, I think it's this one you have to get down inside here. It's just a absolute bitch. Honestly, this one was really bad for me too for some reason. I'm not sure why. After I got done welding, I hit it with some degreaser from Pour 15 and rinsed it off. Gonna let it dry overnight here, and then I'm gonna hit it with some of their metal prepper. So after that, Pour 15 time. Get this all rust proofed, I guess, and then hopefully we can begin rust proofing under there. Here's the finished product. I already went through and cleaned it, degreased, you know, metal prepped, and this is just a layer of, 2 layers actually, of Pour 15 rust preventative. I am going to scuff this up. I'm going to give it a few more days just to make sure it's totally like cured. And I'm going to give it a little bit of once over with some sandpaper just to rough it up. And I'm going to put some undercoating, some of the rubberized stuff on it. But yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't rust, you know, and fall apart. But yeah. So what I had to do with, if you've seen in any of the really fast footage I had there, I had to put all the stock control arms back into all these spots and torque them down to like 65 foot-pounds. That way it sucked these in where they needed to be and then weld the plates on. So yeah, I don't know if I've said this yet, but I am by no means a welder. Not at all. This actually proved to be a little bit more than what I figured it was going to be. It's also the first time, though, I've ever welded with gas. I did some practicing, but, you know, obviously that's not the same. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the way this is turning out. Hopefully it's going to be nice and reinforced and everything, and we're not going to have braking problems. But yeah, while I wait for this to dry and to get my final coat on there of the rubberized stuff, like I said, I'm going to start working on tearing this apart, the front end. Yeah, it's all going to go just like the back. Steering rack and everything, because we have a new one. And it's basically just kind of getting it ready so I can rust proof the frame and everything, because I got to do all that before I can put it back in. So yep, we got a little bit more disassembly that's coming, but we're trucking along here. There's my old interior. So we got our undercoating put on this, and I started working on, well, actually I didn't start, it's basically done, getting all the front suspension components out. I still got to remove the sway bar, but I got the rack out. Yeah, we're making progress, just trying to get everything kind of, as much of the stuff that needs to come off that we're replacing, like trying to get all of it off that I can. That way we can start rust proofing it. But yeah, it's not as bad up front as what it is back in the back. I am gonna have to tear a bunch of this like undercoating stuff off, but I'll pour 15 everything and put undercoating back over it. We're going to try and make sure this thing never rusts again. As far as the front sway bar, we might end up having to just keep that. Like, I'm going to take it off for now, but we might end up having to just keep it off from what I've read. As far as the angle goes, it apparently can hinder you. So I don't know, that's something we're gonna see. But yeah, it was really nice taking these off, because I just unbolted everything and literally took the nut off the bearing, and everything just comes right off. And actually, it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but look how clean, like, that nut, and you probably can't see inside that cap. That cap is literally spotless. Come on, get out of there. Nah, well, whatever. That cap is spotless in there. Like, nobody has ever been inside of this thing. Like, this bearing was actually still seemed fairly decent. The other one was starting to go. Makes sense why I kept having like shaking issues. I mean, also these were like completely trashed. The other side was worse. But yeah, making more progress. Also, I started trying to figure something up to fill in my big ass hole there that basically runs all the way along it, and it goes down into there. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, we're making progress. This was a giant hole. Now it's filled in. It could definitely be a lot better, but you know, I'll take it as long as it's more structurally sound than a bunch of rust. So, I'm in the process. If you saw it drip there, I'm putting the metal prepper on it for the pour 15. That's gotta sit on it for like 15-20 minutes. Anyway, though, you know, I know I'm kind of all over the place with a lot of this, but that's just how I work. So, I got a new cold air intake. Yep. I tried to customize it here. Those are just stickers, though, and I guarantee they melt off. But, you know, it looks cool right now. Whatever. I also removed the battery tray. Now, let me tell you, this motherfucker is horrible to remove. So, that thing was a little too crunchy to find exactly where the spot welds were. So, it was a lot of prying and drilling random spots. And then apparently this shit underneath here is just made of butter, because it would go straight through that without even starting to drill into it after I'd go through that. So, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm sure eventually this is all going to be gone if we, like, front have it. Not right now, though. I also, I mean, there's nothing to show right there, but I think I might have fixed my gas gauge. I'm really wondering what the hell we were on when we put that fuel pump in there, because that float was all screwed up. But yeah, like I keep saying, we're making progress. I know I really haven't been showing you guys a lot of what I've been doing, but I've honestly just been trying to get it done. This really isn't like a series where I want to go through and like show you guys every little thing that I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but you know, I want to show you guys the progress. We started tearing into this rear end. I got the seals out of the side. I got to clean that up a little bit. I got new ones because I think one of them was leaking, but I got to clean it out more because there's a bunch of like gasket material in there now from scraping it off. But we got these plates. I don't know what happened to it. I'll have to find it. But I got some plates that are going to go right in here and to get welded up so we can have a good old drift posi. So, yeah. I'm just plugging along on everything, you know. I got the gas lines and the rear brake line off that run all the way down the car. I also got these all painted up just to give them a little layer of protection. I cleaned them up and painted them up. So, you know, we're just basically, this is going to be this right here. Once this is done being rust proofed, and you know, obviously it's got to be filled in. Don't look too close at it. After that, we can start rust proofing the whole rest of the underneath. Take care of some of the stuff like that. But yeah, once the underneath is rust proofed, we can actually start throwing this thing back together. So, I'm getting pretty excited. Hope you guys stick around for the rest of the journey. One last thing to show you guys. We got our hydraulic handbrake from Villains Drift or whatever Villains. I don't know exactly what they go by. But yeah, dual caliper setup for the back. These are actually dual piston calipers, which I did not know that. So that's really cool. Those should grab really well. It's got all the lines, all the brackets and stuff we need. Willwood Master. There's another bracket. Here's our handle. This actually feels really good too. This like rubbery stuff on the end. Yep. I really can't wait though to get this thing in here and try it out. I've never really experienced a hydraulic handbrake. I've honestly never really tried to drift with a handbrake before either. Alright guys, so I think that's going to do it for part 2 of this series. My little 0 to hero drift car build. We're making progress. I know I'm kind of all over the place like I said before. But you know, I got a lot of things to do, so I've just been trying to get done what I can get done. But yeah, stay tuned for the rest of this. Fingers crossed that soon we're going to be able to start putting shit back together. So, till next time, keep off those jack stands. Stay broke, folks.